So what happens if you get divorced, but your property that you own is in you and your husband's name on the deed, but the mortgage is in a family member's name? Does that make sense? You own the property, but somebody else is responsible to pay for it. This doesn't make a lot of sense, and many lenders will not allow that to happen, and here's why. It's called a non-occupant co-borrower loan. Typically, they're only allowed for family members, but what that does is it says, hey, you and your husband are going to own the property, and somebody else is going to be responsible for it. So why that becomes a problem is if you get divorced, then you and your husband own the property. He can demand, or she can demand, that he wants his equity. But let's say, for example, you have a $200,000 loan and the house is only worth $210,000. He wants his $5,000 in equity. If you don't have the $5,000 to pay, then you would be forced to sell that property. But by the time you pay real estate fees and everything else, there's no equity left in the property. But mom is the one that's responsible for it. So there's a big difference here between who owns the mortgage, who's responsible to pay the mortgage, and who actually owns the property. You want to own the property. You don't want to be responsible for it. So this was a great setup for a husband if they're planning on divorcing you, or if you're thinking about going through divorce. He has no legal liability to pay for anything. So you may have kind of cost yourself or burned yourself by doing this. And also, you definitely put your mom at extreme financial risk with zero reward. You understand? Because she did the loan, but she doesn't own the property. It's kind of like saying, hey, I'll buy you a car, but it's not my car. I'll just borrow the money to pay for the car. And if you don't pay for the car or the house in this case, they come after mom. They don't come after you guys. So it's a pretty sweet setup for both of you. And I would advise mom highly against this. She should have been on title, at least on title, because that would protect her assets as well. Let me know if I can help you with anything else. Bad idea, mom. Don't do that.